Welcome back, my friend. You're here, and that already means something. It means you're choosing growth over comfort, courage over silence. Today, we're going to do something powerful, something called shadowing. It's not just a technique, it's a rhythm, a heartbeat for your English. You'll learn how to speak with energy, not just with words, but with life itself. So as you listen, don't force yourself to memorize every word. Just feel the flow. Notice how English breathes, how it rises and falls, how emotion moves through sound. Let this story guide you. Let it teach you naturally. Because the more you listen with heart, the more English will begin to live inside you. And remember, growth is slow, but every whisper, every attempt, every "I'll try again" is a victory that builds your voice. Before we begin, I'd love to know, where are you listening from right now, and what time is it there? Share it in the comments, because your voice belongs here too. Music fades slightly. Storytelling tone deepens. You wake up early, before the sun even dares to climb the sky. The world outside is still quiet, but inside, your thoughts are loud. You take a deep breath and whisper in English. Today, I speak with energy. The words feel strange, maybe a bit heavy, but there's a spark, small yet real. You play a video, just like this one, and you start shadowing, repeating every sound, every sentence, as if you're dancing with the voice in your headphones. At first, it's awkward. Your tongue twists, your rhythm stumbles, you laugh at yourself, quietly. Then you keep going. You start to notice something. Each sentence has a pulse, a natural rhythm, like a heartbeat in the language. I can do this, you whisper. I just need to match the energy. The word energy, it doesn't just mean power, it means spirit. A feeling that moves through your body when you speak. And the more you practice shadowing, the more that energy grows inside you. You start hearing English differently. It's not just sound anymore, it's emotion. When someone says, "I really wanted that," you feel the word really. You hear the heartbeat behind it. That's how you begin to think in English, not by translation, but by connection. One morning, you're walking through the park. You see an old man sitting on a bench, feeding the birds. He smiles and says, "Beautiful morning, isn't it?" You freeze for a second, but then the rhythm returns. You smile back and say, "Yes, it's a beautiful morning." Simple words, but this time your voice doesn't shake, it sounds alive. That's the power of shadowing. It doesn't just train your mouth, it awakens your confidence. You begin to play with tone, stretching your words, lifting your voice at the end of a question, dropping it gently in a sentence of peace. And slowly, speaking English feels less like a test and more like music. Every day, you listen, repeat, breathe, repeat again. You notice small victories, clearer sounds, faster rhythm, smoother speech. Sometimes, you get tired, your voice cracks, your thoughts whisper, "Maybe I'm not improving." But then you remember, growth doesn't make noise. It happens quietly, deep inside, like roots spreading under the earth before a flower blooms. That's what shadowing does. It teaches you patience through practice, and presence through sound. So the next time you speak, don't chase perfection. Chase energy. Chase that feeling of being alive inside your words. Because the truth is, English doesn't belong to native speakers. It belongs to communicators, to dreamers who dare to use it. You are one of them. Soft fade out. Distant city sounds. Heartbeat rhythm returns. You take another deep breath. You listen again. And this time, when you repeat the sentence, your voice carries something new. Warmth, confidence, life. The rain falls outside your window. You're inside, headphones on, repeating every sentence that plays through your phone. Your breath mixes with the rhythm of another speaker, not copying, but mirroring. That's shadowing. Not just listening, not just speaking, but feeling English move through you like music. You repeat, I believe in my voice. The first time, your tone is uncertain. The second time, you add strength. The third time, something changes. The words don't sound like a lesson anymore. They sound like you. And suddenly, English stops being foreign. It starts becoming familiar. Every sound you make holds a story. The word breathe. It stretches softly, like a sigh. The word strong. It lands with weight, with gravity. The word believe. It rises, full of hope. When you shadow, you don't just train pronunciation. You train emotion. You learn that communication is not about perfect grammar. It's about real feeling. You start to see how English speakers express energy with rhythm, not just words. A simple sentence like, I did it, can sound proud, excited, or even relieved, depending on the energy behind it. That's why shadowing is so powerful. It's not only practice for your mouth, it's practice for your soul. The sound shifts, a memory forms, an image of a classroom. You remember your first English class years ago. Everyone was quiet. No one wanted to speak. The teacher asked, who wants to try reading aloud? You looked down at your notebook. You wanted to speak, but your heart raced too fast. Back then, silence felt safer, because silence couldn't make mistakes. But now, as you shadow these words, you realize the real mistake is never trying. Perfection never begins in silence. It begins in the courage to sound awkward, to sound real. You whisper again, I believe in my voice, and this time you smile. Music brightens slightly, like sunlight breaking through clouds. Days pass. Your confidence grows. You record yourself speaking, then listen back. At first, it's strange hearing your own voice in English. But soon, you start noticing beauty where you once saw flaws. You say, my accent isn't bad, it's mine. That's a powerful shift, from shame to ownership. When you shadow native speakers, you're not erasing your identity. You're adding expression. You're learning how to move between worlds. That's what English really is, a bridge between who you are and who you're becoming. So when you repeat a phrase like, I can do it, say it with conviction. Say it until you believe it, because your words shape your energy, and your energy shapes your reality. One evening, you walk into a small cafe. You hear a traveler speaking English with the barista. Their tone is warm, alive. Something inside you whispers, try. You take a breath, step forward, and ask softly, excuse me, are you from England? They turn, smile, and say yes, and your heart skips, but the rhythm you've practiced returns. You answer, I'm learning English. I like your accent. The traveler laughs kindly and replies, your English sounds great. You speak with energy. And there it is, that phrase. To the one you've been building all along. Speak with energy, not with fear, not with hesitation, but with the fire of someone who wants to connect. The rain fades, a faint hum of a city at night. That night you walk home smiling. You replay that short conversation in your mind, again and again, not because it was perfect, but because it was real. Every shadowed word, every whispered repetition, every stumble led to that moment. That's what learning feels like: quiet effort, invisible progress, and one bright moment that reminds you why you never gave up. You close your eyes, hear the echoes of your own English voice, and realize you've already begun to sound like someone who believes in their power. Soft instrumental swells, calm, reflective pause. Tomorrow you'll wake up again, put on your headphones, and shadow another voice. But this time you won't just follow, you'll lead, because the language that once felt foreign now flows through your heart like rhythm, steady, strong, alive. And you'll whisper once more, "I speak with energy." It's early again. The city still sleeps. You walk slowly, headphones in, English words echoing in your mind. But this time, something feels different. You're not just repeating sounds, you're breathing meaning into them. Each sentence you shadow now has emotion, texture, and rhythm. And like a melody you finally learn to play by heart. You pause near a small lake. The water reflects the golden light of morning. You whisper to yourself, "I've come so far." And yes, you have. Because learning English is not just about grammar or accent or speed. It's about transformation. It's about who you become as you grow through the process. When you shadow, you are doing something brave. You are teaching your brain to listen deeply. You are training your mouth to move with confidence. But most of all, you are training your heart to believe. Many learners give up because they think progress must be visible, like perfect sentences or native pronunciation. But you've learned that real progress often hides behind patience. The word persistence means never stopping, even when it's hard. You've lived that word. You've practiced through tired days, through doubt, through silence, and that persistence has turned into quiet strength. You don't speak English like someone studying. You speak English like someone becoming. Music rises gently. Hopeful strings. Let's look closer at a single phrase. I speak with energy. It sounds simple, but inside it lives a message of power. When you say it, you remind yourself that your voice matters, that your words carry weight and warmth. Shadowing helps you embody that message. It connects mind and body. When you match the rhythm of a confident speaker, your muscles learn courage. Your breathing finds balance. Your voice learns to move with grace. It's more than practice. It's a mirror that shows you what's possible if you keep showing up, one repetition at a time. You remember one night when you almost quit. Your voice cracked, your sentences broke apart, and frustration filled the room. You turned off the recording, stared at the ceiling and thought, maybe English isn't for me. But then deep inside, you heard a small whisper, try again, tomorrow, and you did. That whisper became a rhythm, that rhythm became habit, and that habit became strength. Now every time you shadow, you can hear your own progress, not in perfect pronunciation, but in your courage to keep going. Sound fades into a calm wind, a gentle shift to a more reflective tone. One day you might use English to travel the world, or to tell your story, or simply to comfort a stranger with kind words. Whatever it is, remember, energy is what people feel first, even before words. When you speak with energy, you speak with life. You don't need to sound like anyone else. You only need to sound like you, awake, alive, and unafraid to be heard. So the next time you shadow someone's voice, listen for more than words. Listen for emotion. Listen for connection. Let your heart echo their rhythm. Let your breath move with theirs. That's how English becomes not just a language, but a living part of who you are. The music softens, final imagery forming. The sun is higher now. People begin to walk past you, each carrying their own story, their own language, their own rhythm. You smile. Press play again, and repeat after the voice in your ear. I speak with energy, and this time the words don't belong to the recording. They belong to you. You've shadowed enough voices to finally discover your own. And that, my friend, is what learning truly means. To find yourself in every sound, in every story, in every moment you refuse to give up. Pause. A warm, lingering silence. Thank you for walking this journey with me. If this story inspired you, subscribe for more episodes like this, where English learning meets emotion, storytelling, and the rhythm of your own voice. You are growing, word by word, breath by breath, energy by energy. Keep shadowing, keep shining, and remember, you already speak with energy.